We all are well familiar with whatever a father has been doing for us since forever. But oftentimes we consider all of it to be his moral duty, as every other father does for their children. So, what's the difference? The truth is, every father is not the same. If we happen to look around, we can surely differentiate. Today, I'm really not going to be talking merely about who a father actually is. Rather, I'll be sharing a few of my life experiments that I did just to be more grateful of the things that my father has been doing for me. As most of you might not know that my father lives abroad since 2005, even though he visits every 3 to 4 months and oftentimes we go there to visit him. But you know what it's like to be away from your family all alone? Most of you must have experienced it, but what I actually did in 2016 to know how my father felt being alone was that I observed itikaf for the very first time. For that, all you have to do is to be alone and worship for a few days, and I did it just for like 3 days. As the days passed by, I felt an enormous hit. Being in the same flat my family was in, still not being with them, was just insane for me. I actually made myself realize whatever he is doing for us is not easy at all. The person I looked for as soon as I came out was him. I hugged him for a longer duration and cried. Nobody knew what I was up to up till today. Going for an office job for a few days at the age of 20 was something I could have never thought of. But by the grace of Almighty and the constant support of my father, I went. The whole scenario was based on me trying to gain some experience for my later officially professional life, but on the other hand, the reason I went there was to understand how it actually feels to work under a boss from morning till evening with the same routine for the whole week, and a workload that doesn't let you sit back and relax or enjoy, because that's apparently the only thing that our father does and is not that hard, right? Working tirelessly for the whole week, not giving yourself the time to relax, and then be kind enough to give off the whole amount of salary to our schools, colleges, universities, our up-to-date branded lifestyle and never-ending wish list is something that only a father can do. Back in 2018, I somehow persuaded my father that I wanted to travel alone to Pakistan, whilst all my family was in Dubai for summer vacations. My parents took it as me being their adventurous daughter who happens to dream about traveling alone and feel the liberty of being independent. To some extent, they were right, but as a matter of fact, it was just to feel the pain my father must have felt leaving us all behind. I literally cried for most part of my journey thinking about him and the ways I can get him back in Pakistan. I felt helpless when I couldn't think of anything. Instantly, I happened to recall upon a sentence which my father once said to me. He said, "The only thing which I'll consider a reward for my hard work is seeing my children successful. Wallah, I can manage hundreds of celebrations, family events, and parties all alone for this. The dream that keeps me going is your secure future." This actually made me think as to what have I ever done to make him feel proud? Unfortunately, I couldn't think of more than 3 to 4 things only. In exchange of those 18 years of his sacrifices, only 3 to 4 things? That was the very day when I committed to give my 110% and do stuff that could make him proud. Most importantly, I asked Allah for guidance. Alhumdulilah, whenever I do something worth my while, I can clearly hear his voice getting heavier with tons of happiness, and that's the best thing I could have ever asked for. In all the hustles of our lives, we forget the fact that if we are getting younger and successful, then the person behind all of this is getting older and weaker. If your father is around, then why not go to him and tell him that you love him instead of putting pictures of him everywhere, because you never know who are the ones waiting for their fathers to be around so that they could hug them and say that, "I love you the mostest, Appa, and I miss you more than ever." Hoping the situation gets better so we can be together soon, inshallah.